two, three.
Hello, and welcome to the Movie Buddy Podcast. I'm your host, Josh Blumenkranz, and today we're doing it. We are actually doing this. What is going on? This is crazy. We're going to be doing our predictions for the 2025 Oscars above the line categories. That's right. We're not doing all of them in one video because that's going to take forever. And I know y'all got other things you probably got to do after this. If you like what you see, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and like all the content that you see on here because we're doing a lot of excellent work. All right, so that being said, let's get into it. First up, we have adapted screenplay. So my predictions for this are Conclave, Emilia Perez, A Complete Unknown, Sing Sing, Nickel Boys, and that's my 5. But watch out for Dune, because I do have it in picture, and it's not going to get a lot of nominations like the first movie did, but I think it can kind of slip in here. But it's kind of a rocky road for Denis right now, I have to say. And I do have Wicked at number 7, but I just think it's a great movie. It's going to get a lot of nominations, but I think this is where it does miss. It's a musical, and they typically don't go for musicals in this category. So, yeah, it's pretty solid. I do have Conclave probably going to win this thing because, like, it won the Globe. It's just getting a lot of momentum right now. It's a beloved movie, so it's very much possible. But we'll get into winners when the time is right. But that's what I have for adapted screenplay. Next up, we have original screenplay. And the predictions are Anora, The Brutalist, A Real Pain, The Substance, and September 5th. I don't like it. I don't like this. I don't like that I'm being forced to do this, but it's getting into places. It got into the Globes, it got into PGA. I might put it in somewhere else that's pretty big, and I don't like this at all. I really don't. But yeah, I have September 5th in the 5th slot, mind you. But yeah, those are my 5. But what I really, really want to happen is I want Challengers to get that 5th slot. Challengers is a hell of a good movie. I love it. It's in my top 10. I just really think it can make it in here. It's like a dream I had. I have a dream of Challengers getting in several categories. Everybody goes wild. The music keeps playing every time it gets mentioned, but I don't have it predicted. But I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. So those are my 5 for original screenplay. Oh boy, this is the hard one. This is like the hardest category out of all of the categories for me and for probably most people because this can go in so many different ways, okay? So now the next category is supporting actress. We have Zoe Saldana, Ariana Grande, Felicity Jones, Isabella Rossellini, and I am doing this. I am putting Monica Barbaro in for A Complete Unknown. Okay, so let's break it down. Zoe Saldana and Ariana Grande, they are the locks, clearly. Okay, Zoe Saldana is great in Emilia Perez, and Ariana Grande is great in Wicked. It is a battle between those two this whole entire season. I do think Zoe's going to take it, but anything can change at any time with those two. So, next, Felicity Jones. Now, The Brutalist, I love The Brutalist. It's my favorite film of the year, okay? But the movie's 3 hours and 35 minutes. I'm hearing people are having trouble getting through the movie. She doesn't really come in until later, okay? And she's made it in several places except SAG. So ideally, and if this is a Best Picture frontrunner, I can't take her out, even though I feel like it's not a guarantee for her and she could miss. But I'm going to keep her in for now. And then I have Isabella Rossellini for Conclave. Now this movie is getting a lot of traction. And her character is not in the movie that much. I thought that she would be kind of like a whatever. Like it'll make some places, she'll make some places, but like she hasn't missed. She's made it everywhere she really needs to make it pretty much, except for like SAG. But I just think she's going to get in there. Okay. And that leaves the 5th slot, which can go a lot of different ways. Okay, so I do have Monica Barbaro only because she got the SAG nomination. She hasn't gotten anything else, really. But I think A Complete Unknown is starting to turn tables, and it's getting so much buzz. The box office, they're touring the world right now. Monica is with them. And if you could say that Timothée Chalamet learned guitar and learned how to sing for this movie, you gotta apply the same logic to Monica, which they are a pair. They sing together in the movie. So it only makes sense to me why she would be in here. SAG realized that, and I think she can break through here. But it's not guaranteed. So my number 6, I have Jamie Lee Curtis, because she made SAG as well, and she made BAFTA. Now, her character in The Last Showgirl is, to me, it's like she's very loud and obnoxious. It's just like, again, this is like a whatever character to me. It's like nobody I care about. You see Pamela Anderson for The Last Showgirl. That's why you come to see that movie. But the industry loves her. She's been talking about the fires. She's been championing Pamela. But it's like, is this going to be an afterglow Oscar nomination after Everything Everywhere? Or is this just like SAG and BAFTA loving her, but she misses in the end? It's possible. It is possible. And then after that, I have Selena Gomez. Now, Amelia Perez, that movie is getting a lot of love. It's getting a lot of love. It's going to get a lot of nominations. It'll be the nomination leader of the night. But I'm trying to think, like, her character gets made fun of. Like, it's not that well of a performance in my eyes, but like it's not that great, but like I don't know, I mean it's good, I enjoy it, but like I can see why people don't. And it's like it feels weird to not have her in here, but it's like, is she gonna break through? She missed SAG individually, she got in an ensemble, but she's made everywhere else. So it's like, do I put her in or do I not? But then who do I take out? I know you're going to say Monica, but I'm not going to do it. Because, like, this is my, like, I'm hedging my bets on this one to see if I'm right. And if I am, then I get bragging rights. But I'm just going to keep her out for now and hope that I'm right on this one. And then, last one I have is Margaret Qualley. So, she got in the Globes, and she hasn't really made it anywhere else. So, I'm like, what do I do? How big is the substance? How big is the substance? I don't know. Depends. I mean, Demi's in. I'm going to get some more categories where it gets in later, but I just feel like she's not going to make it. The love is more for Demi than for Margaret, even though they are one. But I don't feel good about this at all, but I guess we'll find out. But this is what I have for supporting actress. Next up, we have Best Supporting Actor. So, I have Kieran Culkin for Real Pain, Guy Pearce for The Brutalist, Yura Borisov for Anora, Edward Norton for A Complete Unknown, and Jeremy Strong for The Apprentice. Those are my 5. So, I'm feeling pretty good about it. Now, people are going to argue with me and say that Clarence Macklin gets in the 6. So yes, the man has gotten into BAFTA. Sing Sing, I'm not going to lie to you, I think it's losing traction. BAFTA did save it. It's on life support right now. I think it could get in to maybe a couple categories. I had it in for screenplay, but for Clarence, it's kind of dicey for him because he's only made BAFTA, really. That's like, I guess, Critics' Choice, but like that's, So, at the end of the day, I just think Kieran Culkin's going to win it either way. It doesn't even matter that much, but I don't know. But this feels like a solid 5 to me. Everyone else feels good. Jeremy Strong, he's been getting into places. He got into SAG. He's gotten into BAFTA. So the question is, can he get in alone? Or does he have to come in with Stan? Or does he just miss? But I think he's a strong enough actor. He was great in Succession. It just feels like his time to finally get a nomination. So I have him as my number 5. But he could miss and Macklin could take over. But we'll see. But those are my predictions for Best Supporting Actor. Next up, let's hear it for the ladies, because now we're doing Best Actress. So my predictions are Demi Moore for The Substance, Mikey Madison for Anora, Carla Sofia Gascon for Amelia Perez, Marianne Jean-Baptiste for Hard Truths, and I have for my 5th slot, Cynthia Erivo for Wicked. So let's talk about it. Okay, so Demi, she just won the Globe. I think she's going to win other things. It's just going to steamroll for now, unless something changes with Mikey and she kind of takes over. But that's who I have. Those two are pretty safe. Carla Sofia Gascon, Amelia Perez, like I said, is the front runner. It only makes sense. She is Amelia Perez, so like it just you gotta put her in there, okay? And Marianne Jean-Baptiste, I just saw Hard Truths. The movie is very depressing and sad, but she's excellent in it. She's so unlikable, but my God, she's good. And she's got some moments of like tenderness buried in there. So you kind of see where she's coming from, but like, my God, what a performance. I really loved Marianne in that. And for my last slot, I do have Cynthia Erivo because Wicked. I mean, Ariana Grande's locked either way, but I just can't imagine Cynthia not getting in there, and she's made everything else. She's landed everywhere she needs to, so it only feels right. They are a pair. They are doing press together. They're holding space together. It just, why would you take her out? I understand where people would come from and argue that, like, oh, you know, you got part 2 coming out, she could be really good in that and maybe win, but it's like, for this, Wicked Part 1, I can't imagine Elphaba not being with Galinda. It just doesn't make sense to me. So that is why I have her in my 5th slot. Now, my number 6, I do have Fernanda Torres. She just won the Globe. I'm still here. Here's a very great movie. I'm going to see it by the time the predictions come out officially on Thursday. But from what I hear, it's a very emotional, like, you know, she's an international superstar. You know, it just kind of makes sense that she could get in, but I don't know who to take out. I guess you could argue maybe Cynthia or Marianne, but I don't know. It could be just a Globes thing, but we'll see. And in my number 7, I do have Pamela Anderson because she got into SAG and she got into Golden Globes. She wasn't longlisted for BAFTA, so she couldn't get into there. But I'm just wondering, like, is her legacy enough to get her in? Her television legacy? I mean, we already have Demi Moore in, and she's already a legacy as it is. It's like, can you have 2 legacy people in this category? I don't know. It just seems like a long shot to me, but I could see her getting in, but I'm not predicting that right now. I'm not. And then the last person I do actually have on a list for this is Angelina Jolie. Now, she got into Golden Globes, and she has won nothing really critics-wise at all. So, like, she hasn't made it into BAFTA. She hasn't made it into SAG. That just feels done. And I don't think she's Kristen Stewart. It's like the Pablo Larraín effect. It's like he gets those women nominated, but they never win anything in the end. That's like major, like an Oscar. But like, I don't know. I love Angelina Jolie and Maria. I really do. But like, I just don't see the path. She could surprise, but I'm not predicting that to happen. So those are my 5 predictions for lead actress. Next up, we have Best Actor. And my predictions are Adrian Brody for The Brutalist, Timothée Chalamet for The Complete Unknown, Ralph Fiennes for Conclave, Colman Domingo for Sing Sing, and for my 5th slot, I have Sebastian Stan for The Apprentice. Alright, so let's break this down. So Adrian Brody, amazing in The Brutalist. He does everything what an actor dreams of, okay? He has an accent, he cries, the whole thing. It's like he towers over everybody else in this category, no question. He won the Globe. I think he's sweeping the season. But people are going to argue that Timothée Chalamet could come up and surprise and take it in the end. I know he's playing Bob Dylan. He's kind of an asshole in the movie. He's very good. He's very good. But I just don't see him taking over Adrian Brody for this. I really don't. The battle is between those two. We'll talk more about that at another time. But Ralph Fiennes for Conclave, of course. I mean, he's like the lead of the movie. It just makes sense. He has been getting nominated everywhere else. He hit everything he needs to hit. So, of course, I have him in. Colman Domingo, same thing for Sing Sing. I'm not the biggest fan of Sing Sing, but he is very good in the movie. So, naturally, you got to have those 2 guys, regardless. Now, the 5th slot is where it can go a few different ways. Now, I'm predicting my boy, Sebastian Stan, because he's been making a lot of buzz in the news lately. I mean, just when you think he's down, he is rising up, okay? So, like, he got nominated for Golden Globes, and he won the Globe, and I predicted that he would win for A Different Man when nobody else would. They thought I was crazy, but I was like, A Different Man was loved internationally. He's a double nominee. It's just the news around him. People feel for the guy. It made sense, and I was right. But I'm switching to Apprentice for this because BAFTA loved it. I feel like, given the political state right now, you could argue that you'd be against it, but like I don't know. I think he can somehow pull this off. And with Jeremy Strong getting nominated too, this could be like a Naiad situation, and these two guys can get in here. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. And then you could make the argument that Daniel Craig gets in instead of Sebastian Stan because he's gotten everything except BAFTA. His own people would not go for him. That's not good. I mean, SAG went for him. That's very good. But I don't know. I saw Queer. It's a fine movie. It's like very out there, very Luca. But like, I don't know. I just don't see Daniel Craig pulling this off. This is more of a legacy thing for him being James Bond, if anything. But how strong is that? Because then my next person below him I have is, for my 7th slot, Hugh Grant for a Heretic. You could say the same exact thing. He's hit everything. He's hit more than Daniel Craig has hit. So it's like, you got to consider him. I'm not predicting Hugh Grant at all, but like you have to consider him. But for that role in that movie, Heretic, it's like I don't think the Academy's going to go for that personally. And then I do have one more person below Hugh Grant. I do have Jesse Eisenberg. He got into Globes, and that's it. But that movie is loved. That movie is loved. It's going to get a screenplay nomination, I think. I think it's going to get, it's going to get Kieran Culkin for sure. And I think it's going to, spoiler, get into picture. So, like, he could get in there. It'd be a hell of a surprise at this point, but I think he could. But anyway, those are my thoughts on Best Actor, and that's what I have for my predictions for Best Actor. Right along, we have Best Director, and my predictions are Brady Corbet for The Brutalist, Sean Baker for Anora, Emily Perez, Jacques Audiard, Conclave, Edward Berger, and for that final slot, The Substance, Corley Fargit. So, this feels right. I don't know. I will say, though, I feel bad for Denis Villeneuve. He is my number 6. Sorry. Just like, I don't know. I mean, Dune. I love Dune. It's in my top 10. This guy can't just catch a break. He really can't. I don't know what. Maybe for Dune Messiah, he pulls it off. But, like, for now, no. I don't think he's going to get in. But Brady Corbet, I feel like, is just going to take it. He won the Globe. It seems like the movie that people are going to respect for directing a lot. So, yeah, that's what I have. We made it. We made it. The final category is Best Picture. And here are my predictions. The Brutalist, Emilia Perez, Anora, Conclave, A Complete Unknown, Wicked, Dune Part 2, The Substance, A Real Pain, and for that last slot in Best Picture, I have September 5th. Alright, so y'all are going to be like asking a lot of questions about this. So, here's my reason. It made PGA. It's gotten into other award shows for other categories. I'm hearing there's some buzz about it that voters love the movie. So, I don't know. It just feels right. So, I do not have Sing Sing in. Reason being, I just don't think a lot of people saw this movie or care that much about it. Critics do, absolutely. It didn't get into the SAG Ensemble. That hurt a lot. BAFTA did revive it, but barely with those few nominations that it got. Okay? So I'm not seeing the passion for Sing Sing. I really am not. If it gets in, then I was wrong. But I just don't see it. I don't see it right now. And then my 12th slot, I do have Nickel Boys. It was doing good, and then it kind of took a turn in other award shows in terms of nominations. So I'm seeing the heat being lost on this one as well. But and it's a shame because I do actually like Nickel Boys. I thought it was a really fine movie. Like, I thought it was well acted, and the cinematography did take some getting used to, but I adjusted. I thought it was a very bold choice. And my 13, I do have a 13. It's Challengers. Again, I had a dream. I had a dream that Challengers got nominated and everyone lost their minds. And they were just like, oh my God, Challengers, let's go. You know, but like, it is a dream. Sometimes dreams don't come true. But I would like to believe it does. But in terms of the 10 that I have, this seems right to me. But I guess we'll find out. We will find out on Thursday, January 23rd. I'll be up bright and early I'll be so tired, but I'm going to be excited. This is going to be a crazy award season, especially for some of these categories, and I can't wait for all of you to join this adventure with me. If you liked my predictions video on the 2025 Academy Awards, go and hit the subscribe button on the channel. And remember, when you go to the movies, bring your buddy and talk about movies. Until next time, bye.